Hi there, my name's Arlene. I live in Chester County, right next to Lancaster County in Pennsylvania. I am a farmer by trade, and I've been out of farming for a while. But at my farm here, I have a shop that I do some of my hand-carved Santas, and I'd like to start teaching that to people that are interested in learning how to do Santas. If you're a beginner, this might be the place to start. I'm going to start going over what type of knives that you need, what equipment you will need to produce these things. A lot of these things get bought pre-cut. All these Santas came out of a square piece of wood. There was nothing but 2 cuts on a bandsaw. If you don't have that, you can always email me at carverswoodshop@yahoo.com, and I'll tell you where you can get them or where you can purchase them. Um, the great thing about this is this can be done anywhere. I often take them along on a trip if I go away and carve in a chair out in the yard or something like that. It's kind of nice. And the nice thing about these Santas, you can make them any size you want as long as they're perfectly square. As you can see with this one, it's perfectly square, and that's what we start with. It's a very interesting way to carve. I've been carving since 1983. I've done eagles, I've done birds, I've done animals, I've done all kinds of different carvings, but the thing that I really got interested in was the Santa carving. And I sold a lot of my Santa carvings on eBay over the years. I would do about 30 to 50 every year for the last 4 or 5 years, maybe longer than that, maybe 6. I had quit carving for about 10 years and picked it up after farming kind of came to a close, and now I'm starting to do what I always loved to do, and that's wood carving. If you're new at this, don't let this discourage you. You can make these. Um, you will find, as a new carver, that there's minimal things that you need. You need a good sharp knife. You need a Kevlar glove for the hand that's holding the carving, and possibly a thumb guard for when you pull the knife towards you. In the next video, I'm going to go over the knives and things that you will need to start. You can probably get started for less than $30. It's not an expensive hobby. It can be if you start buying all the bandsaws and the high-speed grinders. If you get into this, this is strictly with a knife. I do not use any sandpaper on these. I don't use any high-speed grinders. I don't use any of that. The only thing I do use is a bandsaw to cut the initial first 2 cuts, or 4 cuts when I round off the head to start with. It just makes it a little easier to do, but you don't even need to do that. You can do everything with a knife if you have the patience to do it that way. But I enjoy the knife, and then when we paint them with what's called a wash, which is a watered down paint that you can see some of the grain and see that it's wood and not that ceramic look. It takes some time to learn how to do the eyes. It'll take some time to learn how to do the face. But I'll take you step by step, and what you can do is you can stop the YouTube video anytime and restart it when you've caught up to where I am done carving. So you can watch, see what I do, stop the video, and then continue on when you catch up. But the next segment, I'm going to start going over some of the knives and equipment that you will need. If you have any questions, you can always email me at thecarverswoodshop@yahoo.com, and I'll try to answer all your questions as they come. Be patient. I'm not on the internet all the time. I have other obligations as well as anybody else, but it's a great pastime. So if you're interested in doing this, come join me. I'll start probably with something a little bit bigger that's easier for the beginner to hold on to. You want to be able to hold on to it. But before you start, please go to Woodcrafters, if there's a Woodcrafters in your area, or a carving shop in your area, and get the Kevlar glove. It won't help you if you stab yourself, but if you slice yourself, it will protect you from that. It's the same stuff that's in a bulletproof vest. It's the same type of material. it won't it will help you greatly from cutting yourself and slipping with the knife, especially if you're new at it. And if you're new at it, there's some new, very, very basic things I want you to do before you even start to carve these. And that's just taking a block of wood, and we're going to try to teach you how to cut with the grain and what it's like to cut against the grain, that you need to flip it around. And you learn that as you go. You'll feel the tug, and you'll realize that it's not going to cut correctly, and you'll flip the thing around, and it will come automatic. There's certain ways of holding the knife. We're going to go over that as well. So come join me. I'll start this video teaching session fairly soon. I'll start adding them when I have time. And, I hope that you enjoyed as much as I do creating these. Thanks for joining me.